Top of the afternoon, we're back. So today we're going to kind of walk over the CRV, kind of explain what it takes to K-swap a CRV, power goals with the CRV period, why, and just full description of it, broken down now that we've changed a couple things and got it up and running finally. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. So this is my 1999, well it's a 2000, but it says 99 on the door. So CRV, 5-speed, real-time 4-wheel drive, originally. I acquired this about a year ago. As everyone knows, I love CRVs. I used to have a turbo one back in 2013, made 500 horsepower, which I can add in clips right now. So that being said, I always wanted to do another one. With working on this, one thing I learned is the all-wheel drive B-Series transmission is just really weak. And it takes a lot of money to get these transmissions up to par. So instead of doing that, we opted to just do this. The car was kind of funded. I used to have a real-time 4-wheel drive wagon, fully built all motor, and it got state ref, so I parted it out. And that money went to invest into this. So this car is technically an investment for B&N Designs, which is a company I started about 2 years ago. And wanted to just kind of showcase off what I can do, what I can design here on the driveway. So once I parted out the wagon, I started collecting parts to do this swap, and I didn't start it until I had everything I needed to do. So let's get into detail and a couple of the things that's really key on this. So first things first is getting the motor in here. It's nothing much to it as far as that's concerned. EG subframe, just like everything else. We're using the Hub City rear T-bracket with EKK2 mounts. We are on the highest setting on the EKK2 billet mounts, has ports, and on the lowest setting in the back with the Hub City rear T-bracket. That Hub City T-bracket is really key for the all-wheel drive launchers. The subframe's a little tricky though, because you can either rock the lower control arms and stuff, but it brings the wheel super in, so you can allows you to ride with a bigger wheel width, or if you want to keep the original width that you had, you have to push in the EG bushings into the CRV lower control arms, and then use the CRV lower control arms as well with the tie rod ends on the EG DC power steering rack or manual rack, whatever you're using. To use the sway bar is a little tricky. I used the EG sway bar, but I did have to make new ends on the lower control arm for it to bolt up. Past that, it would not bolt up. And driving this big ass car without a sway bar is sketchy as heck. So that's a must for sure. So I guess we'll kind of work our way in reverse. Start from the drivetrain up into the motor, since we're already talking mounting. Drivetrain is a fully built drive shaft that we did with 1310 U-joints, billet carrier bearing that I use, as you guys seen in previous videos. Gear X viscous with the Gear X LSD, Porsche 944 rear axles, 1000 horsepower DSS axles up front, and then all that's pretty much good to go. Transmission is a 1 through 4 Gear X drag set, synchro set, which is has a 4.0 final drive with a TSX 5th gear, wave track LSD, all new Honda bearings, seals, and stuff like that. The trans was built by Syncrotech. Mating the trans up to the motor, we're using a competition clutch triple disc, which is super lovely. And we have that with the hydro throw-all bearing made by Clutch Masters. The engine itself is a CSS block, K24A1. And as I mentioned before, I like to use the A1 blocks because you don't have to do any modifications to the S2, the Type S oil pump. It just bolts straight up because of the deck on the bottom is flat. The block does have forged rods, S-Trom pistons, 11-to-1s, so it's a little bit higher on the compression. Fully built port flow head, Ferrara valve train, and stock cams, stock TSX cams. The head is RBC head, but it's TSX cams in there with 22.5 cam gear. Don't need much with boost, so didn't need the 50-degree on this bad boy. Has all brand new timing chain. It's using the Drag Cartel timing chain guide in case I ever have to lift the head. I don't have to worry about pulling the motor or whatnot. We're using 2150 FIC injector, skunk tube fuel rail with the GM flex fuel sensor. All these fuel lines were done by G&J, crimped and everything, made to size specifically for this build. We have a return that goes to the fuel pressure regulator. Fuel pressure regulator returns down to the surge tank, which used to be up here, which is now under the car. We have a fuel filter down there that feeds in. This is the surge tank. Houses two 450s. Goes to a Y, feed up, return to the surge tank, return back to the original gas tank, and we're just using compression fittings for the line feed and line return. Quick look at the drive shaft real quick. To keep this thing cool, we're using RSX Type S radiator made by CSF, just an OEM replacement. Factory bottom hose that's cut to go there and then down there. And then we have no intercooler, as you guys see. This is basically a water to air heat exchanger, which is fed by the Messier water pump and also tied into a Demon Killer chiller, which you can't see, and is fed by the AC pump that's down there. The AC pump also feeds the cabin air as well. All this cold stuff was all done by me right here in the garage. Cold air intake, which goes right there. So it gets nice cold air. The race port, Turbo Smart, BOV, all these V-bands are just like eBay V-bands and stuff like that, or they're Amazon, the PQY ones. Everything's all push lock from there. All this air is going into a Garrett G30 900, which is one of the new G series turbos with the twin seals, so these things can handle some crazy heat. We are using both the water lines and oil lines as well. Boost is regulated by a tile 60 mil, controlled by 4-port max solenoid. Don't put push locks there because of the heat issues on the wastegate, so I rather eliminate that. So we just went with standard hose for that. Turbo manifold was custom made by Speed Factory for me, for the V-band, for the new G Series turbo. They do not offer this on the website, but maybe tap in and we can get you set up. Hot side is all done by me as well. Comes down to a cutout, which is fed down to the stock exhaust, and then comes straight out here to the fender. This is activated by a vacuum source, which uses a one-way solenoid. That one-way solenoid is activated by a button, so you can let it ride stock, you can open it up, you can lock it open, you can lock it close. Full exhaust goes all the way back, V-band up. Just done with some stuff I had left over to a stock muffler. Past that, it's not much to it, just standard K-Series swap parts, hybrid racing, power steering, AC kit, Rywire Infinity 508 harness, catch can that was designed by me and made here as well. Inside, my baby's pretty clean. Got the in-dash, I'm waiting for the dash right now. It's on back order. I was using my dash from my Civic and just swapping it out here and there. But I don't want to damage it, so I'd rather just leave it where it is and then wait for this one. I've just been using the laptop to monitor everything. Infinity is tucked up nice and tight, and got to redo some stereo wiring. I didn't do any of that stereo wiring, but yeah, this is not it for sure. I mean, there's a loom that goes right there. I don't know why you just wouldn't use that loom, but hey, what do I know? Using a stock RSX Type S shifter cable and shifter assembly. It's just mounted here, which you guys seen in previous videos, so nothing spectacular, but shifts super butter, so love it. We do have the captain armrest on both chairs. These are from Automatics, and I just added this one onto this one. Also, I did add the full bed back seat with the lever there. So it does allow you to lay this flat now. All the floor mats, everything's here, just super clean. Back here we have the rare CRV cargo cover, sub under there, battery, nothing major. Just standard stuff back here. People always ask me how come I don't blur out the plates. Well, number one, the car is not registered to this address, so good luck. But number two, if they want to find you, they will. That's not doing anything really. So not really too concerned about that. But this is my CRV. This is my wife's CRV, which we converted to 4-wheel drive. It was only 2-wheel drive. We picked this up in Vegas. Super clean, super nice, reliable as heck. And got some stuff in store for this one too, but not quite yet. So yeah, man, that's the walk around of the CRV. Hope some of that information was helpful, useful. You guys have any questions, hit me up, man. Wouldn't mind answering a couple. I don't want to get too overwhelmed with questions. That's why I made this video. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is what it takes, man, to get it done. We plan to hit about 750, 800 horses in this thing. So we'll see. Should do that with ease. But yeah, for right now, that's what we're trying to do. I also want to be the first CRV in the low 10s, if not jump into the 9s. Talking to some Lexan people, we're going to do Lexan windows all the way around. Some carbon fiber work, get her lightened up. I got all the spherical suspension for it now, so I'm going to be doing that here coming up. So that's going to be fun. And then, yeah, try to get this thing to make some jam, man. Eat some cars up, you know, surprise some unexpected people. As you guys see, it's nothing serious. I mean, if you look at it from this side, you wouldn't even think nothing. So yeah, we got a lot of sponsors on board with this. Not so much like free sponsors or stuff like that, but just more support from bigger companies that they felt we deserved the support. Speed Factory #1, huge thanks to them. Ricky is my guy over there, man. He makes sure I'm always good as far as it's on the part sales side or just making sure I'm good, period. So I can't thank him enough. Ryan at Rywire, hands down, made this so easy for us. Without him, I just would have a headache and 10 more gray hairs. So thank you to them. Alberto at SB Machine Shop, appreciate you, my guy, always holding us down. That guy's, I mean, without a doubt or a question, he always is ready to jump on board and help me out, man. From day one I met him. So huge thank you to you, Alberto. And we're out, man. You guys like, subscribe, and share. Check the video out. Don't skip a beat, man. And we'll see you on the next.